Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to teach you how to make weepo. So you may be asking yourself, well, what is weepo? The story is that I will tell you more about my history later on in the video, but up front, we grew up in a farming community and both my parents were college students. I'm not sure Dad had already gotten his degrees, but I know Mother was in college. I mean, I wasn't even in kindergarten when we moved to where we were living. And, you know, my parents worked and they went to school with 3 children under their belt. So money was tight, especially under the Carter administration. And so they did the best that they could. We weren't destitute, we were just, you know, we just didn't have extra, you know, fun money. You know, we didn't drink sodas and we didn't have sugary snacks and things like that. So my mother did what she, you know, she made sure that we had well-balanced meals and, you know, stuff that would fill you up. And so my sister came in the kitchen one day when my mother was making this dish and she asked, Mom, what are you making? And Mom says, weepo. And Mom's like, well, what is weepo? And Mother says, well, weepo, we're poor. My mom was being silly, and so she just said weepo. And that's where the term for this dish came from. It's relatively inexpensive, it fills you up, and it is nutritious. So that's where the story comes from. And enough of this talking, let's get on with the video, and I hope you enjoy it. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment below if you have a similar dish that just fills you up, that's on the cheap, if you will. And hit that bell and let's get some notifications so that you know when I upload more videos. I am taking 2 months off of work and I got about 4 terabytes of videos that I haven't had time to upload, and that is exactly what I'm going to be doing. So enjoy the video. Now this is just me. What I like to do is I go out and buy a big thing of ground beef or ground chuck, whatever's on sale, and I cook it all at once. And then I freeze what I don't use immediately. And when I want to season it for whatever, say tacos, I warm up the meat, put the seasonings that I desire, and just warm everything up. If you use onions, saute the onions and then put your cooked ground beef in there and then just let it simmer. It won't hurt anything. Okay, today I bought almost 3 pounds of ground, what did I get? Ground chuck value pack for $17.31. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and heat my saucepan. Sometimes I caramelize my ground beef. It does add more flavor if you caramelize it. And then once it's cooked real good on the bottom and it's caramelized, just pour a little stock in there and it'll release all the good bits that are stuck to the bottom of the pan and also help you clean it. So what I do is when I get done with my containers, is I put them in my freezer until trash day, and then I'll throw them out the night before, and that way it doesn't stink up my trash can. Just a thought. Oh crap, I'm out of paper towels. I absolutely love this thing. Let me get out of the way because the camera wants to focus on me. This is a paper towel holder. It's a cast iron paper towel holder and it's got a really long leg. They got giraffes and elephants as well. And I'll send a link. I'll put a link down below where you can pick him up if you're interested. I think it's hysterical. 3 northern beans. Juice and all. And I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to cook my rice in chicken stock. Now, I don't do cooking shows. I just cook every now and then. If you want to see a really good cooking show, go see Tammy over there at Collard Valley Cooks. I don't really measure my rice. I just think about how much I want to eat and dump it in there. Now, jasmine rice doesn't cook as long as regular rice. It cooks about 15 minutes instead of 20. So when that gets boiling, I'll just cook however much I think I want to eat. Now, I'll make enough that'll last me 3 days. So while that's cooking, I'll talk to you. I think my mother was 27 years old when she had me. Almost certain of that. And both my parents were in college. I think my dad had already graduated. My mother was going for her master's. I can't remember. But they had 3 children under their belt. Mom was in college and she worked. And Dad worked as a teacher. My dad has 2 degrees, one in math and one in physics. And he was teaching, I think, math, high school math, and then he became vice principal at this high school. And we actually grew our own food. We were poor. We didn't go without, but we were happy. I remember that. And then Mom finished her degree, and Dad he quit teaching and he started selling insurance, like gap insurance, and then he went into the car dealership business and nursing home business. And my dad used to travel the world teaching how to sell insurance, so he's a very established person, I guess. Mother was a teacher, I think, for 30 years, and she retired, but she also was a real estate broker. Imagine working full-time and going to college with 3 children. And we grew our own food. I wore my sister's hand-me-downs. Lori and Dory are 4 years older than I am. They're not twins. Lori was born in January and Dory was born in December of the same year. And 4 years later, they tried for a boy, and sorry, Dad, your bullets. So that's how I came to be, and that's my story. My family now lives on the east coast of Florida. I have some family still left in Atlanta. They moved out of the metropolitan part of Atlanta. It's just too dangerous, so they moved way out to like Cartersville, Rome, Athens, somewhere out there. I don't remember. I probably should get a bigger saucepan for my rice. I think I'll do that. I'm gonna add just a little bit of water because I want a little bit more rice than usual. That's a little bit about me and my history. We grew up in a farming community. And I would say it was the land of the haves and haves not. There were very, very few middle-class citizens. But I'm proud of where I came from. I'm proud of my background. Because those were the days when you came home from school and you had a scroll that ran off the side of the refrigerator of your chores that you had to do when you got home from school. And then you could watch after school specials on PBS, I think it was. We only had like 3 or 4 channels. You know, the big antenna, you had to climb up on the roof, fix, all that kind of stuff. And my dad had a Renault. I don't know if you remember those. And then he ended up getting a Datsun. That's what we call it, a Datsun. And I used to talk like this. That's how I used to talk. I sure did. I used to talk like that. Then I got a really nice Midwestern accent, and I moved here and I got lazy. So I got that Southern drawl again, but I'll start working on it. Not that there's anything wrong with Southern drawls. Absolutely not. There's different kinds. So basically you just hook your meat. I'm gonna turn this up a little bit and get this show rolling. I was trying to catch up, or let the rice catch up. Now if you want to drain your meat, that's fine. And if you don't, that's fine too. Be you. All right, I'm gonna let this, get to where it needs to be, and then I will be right back. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're a regular subscriber, I'm sure that I've mentioned before that I'm trying to set my household or my home up for when I get older. So the reason why I like these containers is so that when I get older and I drop it, it's not going to spill everywhere. And these are very well made. I have really thoroughly enjoyed them, and I would recommend these. I'll put the link down below in the description box, and I'll also put the link down below for the moisture absorbers. Yes, I do have one of those hamburger cooker things, but I just didn't feel like using it today because I didn't feel like cleaning it, because I don't have a dishwasher. I don't want one. I'm only one person. I mean, how much mess can I possibly make? Plus, I'm trying to keep my electricity bill down. Like I said, I like to caramelize my meat a little bit to give it a little bit extra flavor. Now, when I cook my rice in broth or stock, I do not rinse it. If I'm just cooking it regular water, I do rinse it to get the starch off of it. But if I were to rinse this rice after it's cooked in stock, it'd rinse all the flavor off of it. So. That's what I'm going for, because that's where the flavor is. Now this is unseasoned. I'll season it as I, cook it for whatever purposes I cook it for, whether it's for tacos or spaghetti or whatever. That's when I'll season it. But this, if I'm in a rush and I want dinner real quick, it's already cooked. All I gotta do is just add seasonings and go. My rice, make sure it's not burning on the bottom. I got 40 seconds. Let me do a taste test, make sure it's done. All right, you see how it's caramelizing on the bottom? That's what I want. I'll put just a little bit of stock in here from the rice. Lift it off the bottom and help clean my skillet. All right, this is done. All right. This. All right, I think that's pretty caramelized as much. Well, I'm gonna caramelize it just a little bit more. Didn't have much broth left over from the rice, so I'll just use water. Just let it caramelize just a little bit more. Whatever's stuck on the bottom off. See how it's pulling it off the bottom? I need a little bit more water. Don't worry, all that water will evaporate out. See it? You evaporate that water out of there real quick. Okay, I've got my rice draining right there. And now I'm going to drain my beef. Like I said, I'm not going to rinse my beef. I'm going to let it drain. That's good and drained right there. Okay, while the beef is draining, I'm going to go ahead and put my cooked rice in here. I'm going to put about half of it in. There we go. Woo! Steaming up my camera. Good goodness. Okay, I'm going to pour about a half the can with the juice of Great Northern beans. Again, it doesn't have to be any particular brand. I have noticed no difference whatsoever in any brand. It was whatever's on sale. Okay, and I'm going to add my hamburger meat. Just filling it that way. I'm not going to add all of it. I'm just going to add what I'm going to be using for this particular meal. Just makes mixing easier instead of dumping it all in at one time. So I'll be adding the rest of my rice. Hang on just a minute, someone's at the door. Okay, I'm sorry the air conditioner came on, but it's hot, even for December 17th. So, that right there is Weepo. It's that easy. Now, personally, I like to eat mine seasoned with Tony Chacheres Creole seasoning, and I'll put that link down in the description as well. I'll put these mixing bowls that I'm using down in the description as well, and the strainer that I used. Now, I do like these kitchen utensils, however, I wish I would have gotten them in black. So let me add the rest of the beans. Now you can add as many beans or as much meat as you want. I like it to look uniform and even, so I'll let this rest, and then I'm going to put it in my favorite container. I'll be right back. I have this storage container that I really like, and I'll put the link for it down below. I have another one, but it is over at my former client's house, which I will go and get tomorrow. So I'm just going to put my Weepo in here. Now with this dish, you've got your protein from your meat. And you got about 6 grams of protein from the beans themselves. You got your carbohydrate, which is your grain, which is your rice. And you got some fats from your ground beef as well. If you want, you can serve this with another vegetable. But I personally think this is a good, complete, fast, easy meal. And since I'm on my calorie restricted diet, I eat my breakfast, walk my 4 miles, and then I have a bowl of this for lunch and then a bowl of this for dinner. I have 12 more pounds to go. What I like about this, if you listen, takes the air out. I love this container. Absolutely love it. And like I said, I'll put the link down below. So I take these bags, forgive the shadowing, and I put ground chuck. The 17th of December 21. I open them up. I like these hefties because they stand up for you to fill them. And I take my leftover ground beef, put them in here, and I just fill them up. Probably need a bigger spoon to expedite this a little bit faster, but I don't want to wash another implement, so. Okay. That's that one. Okay. Okay, that feels about right. So I take my Ziploc or hefty bag and I roll it, get the air out of it, zip it shut. Get it as flat as possible. That way, when I stack my stuff in the freezer, it lays flat and it's easier to store. And plus, when I'm ready to thaw them out, if they're flat like this and thin, they thaw out quicker. So there you have it. I just lay it in the freezer and I'm done. So when I'm ready to make some more Weepo, it's already cooked. All I have to do is make some rice, throw in some beans, done. 15 minutes, prep time. All right, let's get these dishes done. Look at these split. Fine, folks, is how you make WePo. And I just threw in cleaning the kitchen as an extra bonus because I know some of you like to watch people wash dishes and clean kitchens. So there you have it. I'm glad you're here and I hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you had a good time. And if you did, please hit that like button. And if you want, I'd appreciate it. You go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. And hit that bell for notifications so you'll know the next time I upload another video. So, I'm going to close it here. Thank you for being here, and you have an awesome day.